الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين سيدنا ونبينا ومولانا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين وبعد. Beloved brothers and sisters in Islam, respected Huffaz, ulama, beloved Hujjaj, viewers and listeners, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. كيف حالكم؟ الحمد لله. Beloved brothers and sisters in Islam, alhamdulillah, when I reflected on what we can reflect on this evening very briefly, I thought about what are we experiencing, what are we, seeing. And so I went onto my WhatsApp, and I'm connected to, hundreds of people in the city. I just wanted to see what's happening, in the community. So I looked at statuses, and I was reminded of Allah's bounties upon people. That in this particular period, mashallah, there are like 90 odd people leaving for Umrah, subhanallah, in the next few days. There are people who are traveling, there are people getting married, people who got married, people having children. And I thought it's very important, my dear brothers and sisters, that a certain quality must prevail in the heart of a believer. And that quality is that we celebrate the successes of others. Our beloved Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam highlighted that the sign of a heart which is close to Allah is the heart that can rejoice at the success of the brother. And the sign of a corrupted heart is that the minute that corrupted heart finds out about a success, they find a reason why that success should not be there. So they might say, maybe someone shares a picture of a new car that Allah has given them. Then they say, no, this person can't afford this. It's probably gambling. Or we find some story or some insult, or you share something positive, a bounty that Allah has given you with someone. And we lecture this at university about body language. And the minute you share a bounty, you can see on someone's face, do they rejoice with you? Or is it sort of a fake, oh, that's nice. And so this is a very important quality that we must have, because for Muslims, we must understand that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala affords bounties, in varying degrees. That Allah might give one person wealth, and Allah gives another person knowledge, and Allah makes another person hafiz, and Allah grants another person's child to excel at school, and someone is honored with excellent moral character. And person is honored, with multiple bounties. And the challenge and a human sickness that we have is when we hear of a bounty, how that heart reacts to hearing of that bounty. So Naseehah that we give to the couples that get married, we remind them that as much as it is a blessing, a bounty, just watch what you share in the public domain. Because we're also in an era now, my dear brothers and sisters, where, as I mentioned in the opening, all of us maybe share updates on WhatsApp, or whatever platform. We share something that we are going through. So we make that knowledge public. And this aspect must just be looked at carefully. Because in the Sharia, we reflect on, can you tell others about a bounty? So the ulama have written, you should. You should inform others of a bounty in gratitude to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So and there are certain bounties that you can't hide from people. If Allah gives you a new car, you can't hide it. If Allah gave you that, you are going to be public. So the ulama have written that when it comes to sharing, talking about your bounties, be very distinct and very limiting in what you share, so that you don't border on boasting, and only share what people would generally find out or know. So this is an important guideline that I want to share with everyone, because mashallah, they are, when I looked at all these people, and some are on holiday, mashallah, some are at the beach, and some got married and they're posing with their spouse, and various bounties. Some are showing their kids' reports and they put it on their status, and there's pride, and you feel very excited about that. But we must just understand how this prevails from an Islamic perspective. So we must thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the bounties, but at the same time, we reflect on the hadith in Sahih Muslim, in which our beloved Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam said that, when it comes to interacting or reflecting on people, always seek refuge in Allah from the harms of people. And this is an important aspect. With whatever bounty Allah gives you, a car, good health, a beautiful spouse, beautiful children, money in your bank accounts, a pension fund, whatever bounty it is in your life, always seek refuge from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from the harms that can come from people, especially if your bounty will be known. So previously ulama would say don't post things unnecessarily. But we live in an era where people engage, they share. People are going to depart on Umrah, and they should share that they are going. But we reflect on the hadith in which the Prophet ﷺ recommended that we recite Surah Falaq. In particular, that last verse, وَمِن شَرِّ حَاسِدٍ إِذَا حَسَدٍ. That you seek refuge in Allah from the evil of the person who is jealous when they are jealous. This is a very important aspect. So, as everyone is experiencing varying bounties during this period, just a reminder, inshallah, seek refuge in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Many will celebrate and some might not celebrate. But it's very important that we seek refuge in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then I want to close, my dear brothers and sisters, with a beautiful hadith of our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam that we find in Riyadh al-Salihin, in which, because I know this time in December, some people get a 13th check, others don't. Some get leave, like everyone's envious of those in education because the teachers and the lecturers are off, they get leave, and others maybe have to work through. So there are different bounties, and I remind you of the hadith of our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that be content with what Allah has given you. And listen to this beautiful hadith, and we close with this. Our beloved Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, "Man asbaha minkum aminan fi sirbihi, mu'afa fi jasadihi, indahu qutu yawmihi, فكأنما حيزت له الدنيا بحذافيرها." Our beloved Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, whoever from amongst you wakes up. Now listen to the words of our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Whoever from amongst you wakes up in the morning and you have your family and your home, and you have health in your body, and you have enough to eat for the day, then acknowledge that Allah has gathered the entire dunya for you. From the words of our Prophet ﷺ, that if you wake up in the morning and your home is secure and you have family and you have health and you have enough provisions for the day, then acknowledge that Allah has prepared the entire dunya for you, the whole world. So don't be jealous of others, and I particularly address the young, because the young, mashallah, are deeply connected to social media. And we have a problem with social media that people, the young might know the term flex, that people show off on social media. So a youngster may be sitting here in PE, they go online and they see, oh, that young person is doing this and going there. And sometimes it's not even true. But the challenge with that is it leads to this desire that I need more, I want more, and I'm jealous of others. So all of us, inshallah, must be content with whatever Allah grants us. And the best part, my dear brother and sister, from the teachings of our Prophet ﷺ, that when you see a bounty of another, and your heart can say, MashaAllah, Allah has given beauty to have with tawfiq. You can look at him and say, MashaAllah, Allah has given beauty. And you can celebrate the bounty, then Allah grants you either equal or better. If your heart can rejoice for another. But the minute your heart says, yesterday, man, why must he now look so handsome? Then what happens? The jealousy takes away of your good deeds. So may Allah grant us, firstly, that we are appreciative of our bounties. And that we are content with what Allah grants us in our lives. And may Allah safeguard us from the evil and the jealousy of people. Ameen ya Rabbal Alameen. We make dua that Allah grants all khair and barakah to everyone, and to the couples that are getting married and have got married as well. May Allah bless khair and barakah in their unions and in the businesses and the wealth and the possessions of all. Ameen ya Rabbal Alameen. And then, my dear brothers and sisters, unfortunately the masjid received some saddening news. Our beloved Jalaluddin, his mother passed away a few hours ago. Our hearts are with you, Jalaluddin. May Allah grant your mother Jannatul Firdaus. I cannot imagine what your heart is going through, because 24 hours ago Allah gave you a lady, and today Allah takes a lady away from you. So may Allah grant you sabr, and sabr in the hearts of all of your family and friends. And may Allah place nur in the qabr of your mother. Ameen ya Rabbil Alameen. Jazakallah khairan.